with the footy season just around the corner, one of the most highest accolades for a player is making the Dally M Team of the Year. And look, what better time to predict who I think will make the Dally M Team of the Year? And honestly, I've got a few rogue shouts this year. So we'll start off pretty simple with my fullback. I've got James Tedesco as the guy to take out Dally M Fullback of the Year. I think he's got a huge chance of taking out the main award too. His form at the end of the season last year was absolutely crazy, and I think that he'll just pick up where he left off from last year. I mean, like what I've said, let's say about Teddy, he's one of the best players that I've ever seen in my lifetime. But we'll go through some honourable mentions as well. I've got Latrell. If he can stay fit and not get suspended, which is a big ask, he could definitely be up there in terms of just getting points, because he's always one of Rabbitoh's best when they win. And again, their form at the end of last season was ridiculous. So Latrell's obviously there. Another player, you can never count him out. If he's fit all season, Tommy Turbo could definitely be up there towards the top end of the Dally M points rankings. So going to my wingers now. The first one I got is a guy that I think will finally get his plaudits, and that is Alex Johnston. If he has another 30 try year, I think he has to be up there for one of the best wingers in the comp, in terms of Team of the Year wise. I don't know if he even has one yet, which is just ridiculous to think about. He's going to become probably the top try scorer of all time in the next 2 or 3 seasons. It's just crazy. So, number 5, the person I've got is Brian Toto. He's just the best winger in the comp, isn't he? I think it's pretty hard to go past that. My honourable mention for the wing spot is Josh Adokar. Now, over to my centres. First one I've got, you can't go past him, Joey Manu. He's probably the best centre in the comp. Perhaps the best footballer in the comp in terms of how good he is across multiple positions. But I think for sure he's going to be a member of this year's Team of the Year. Especially, again, if he can keep fit and just be a part of it. I think Roosters have a good chance of winning the comp this year. And they'll definitely have a fair few players in the Team of the Year. Over to my other centre. This is where my first rogue shout comes, and that's Campbell Graham. I think he finally will get the respect he deserves this season. He is such a good player, really good defensively, really good with the ball, and I think this year they'll get the best out of him, and I think he'll be rewarded with potentially a Blues jersey with some injuries, but I think he'll be rewarded with a Team of the Year spot. Now, my honourable mentions for the centre position, Valentine Holmes and Stephen Crichton. I think they're the obvious answers. They're probably up there with the best centres in the comp, especially last season. All of this is being said, but if you have a look at last year's Team of the Year, you probably wouldn't have put Val Holmes in there, that kind of thing. So you sort of got to account for the guys that might sneak in and have a good year. Let's move into the halves now. My 5'8", I got a pretty controversial pick here. I have got Matt Burton as my Dally M 5'8" of the year. I think they might not make the finals, but if they do the doggies, it's a large part to Matt Burton. I think he's in for a crazy year. They're really hitting the straps towards the end of the last season, and Cameron Serrata's going to get the best out of him. For me, he's my Dally M 5'8" of the year. The honourable mentions I've got there, of course, are the top guys in that position. Jerome Luai, Dylan Brown, and Cameron Munster. They all sort of speak for themselves. Munster's probably the best 5'8" going around. Dylan Brown and Jerome Luai are in two of the best systems they are consistently some of the best players in their team when they win, so they'll obviously get points when their team gets the W. Over to my halfback, this is also my tip for Dally M Player of the Year this season. I think the media will push it and push it and push it, and he'll get it. That is Nathan Cleary. I think for sure he's going to get it this year, as long as he stays fit and doesn't get suspended. Same sort of story as Latrell. But my honourable mentions are last year's Dally M winner, Nico Hines, of course. He won it last season. You can't write him out. Ben Hunt, if the Dragons if he carries the Dragons again and they actually win some games this year, he's going to be up there. And Mitchell Moses is my other one for the same sort of reason as Dylan Brown. If the Para are winning and playing well, Mitch Moses is. So that's sort of he'll get points if they're winning. My front rowers, I have James Fisher-Harris. He's the best front rower getting around. He's probably the most likely front rower I feel that would get points, just because he impacts the game so much. You've also got Christian Welch is my other one. I think he's going to have a huge role for the Storm this season as part of that forward pack. They've lost so much experience. So for me, he's a guy that could get a lot of points. Honorable mentions for the front row position are Toby Rudolph, Junior Paulo, Lindsay Collins, and Joseph Tarpanay. So half the comp. I think like Toby Rudolph for me is actually a smoky for Origin this season. He keeps getting better year after year after year, and I think second year under Craig Fitzgibbon is really going to help him out, and he could become one of the game's best front rowers. Junior Paulo speaks for himself. Lindsay Collins as well. Like, if he just has a full year on the paddock, I think he's really going to remind us of how good he is. And then Joseph Tarpanay, like, he was so good in the last season. I was seeing a thing from NRL Physio the other day. Is like he was playing with a rib cartilage injury, and especially for forwards, that's something that like messes with their game a fair bit. So I think if he is out there and can, like, if he plays better than he did last season because he's not carrying a rib cartilage injury, the comp needs to look out, because far out he was good at the end of last year. My hooker, another rogue shout. I got Reece Robson. I think he will become the Blues hooker potentially this year, if not the year after. I honestly think he's in for a huge year. He's developed really, really well over the last couple of seasons. Todd Payton's getting the best out of him up in Townsville. Like, that Cowboys team seems like a really just fun, good system and team to play for. And I think we'll see the best of Reece Robson this year for sure. Honourable mentions though, I've got like 2 storm hookers basically. Harry Grant, of course, and Brandon Smith. I think in a new system, back at playing hooker for hopefully 80 minutes a game, I think he'll play a massive role in any of their success they have. And the last time he played a full year at hooker, he got in the team of the year. So, like, what's the reason he's not going to do it again? He's in a red hot looking Roosters side. So, my second rowers that I have got, 2 Penrith boys basically. Well, not anymore, but got Liam Martin as one and Viliami Kikau as the other. Liam Martin for me, I think he's going to be their strike second rower this year. Yes, they've brought in Luke Garner and Zach Hoskins and like that sort of thing. They've got some other good like second rows in their ranks, but Liam Martin is just a dog. Like, he's that guy. I think I don't know whether they're going to move him to the left edge, but the right side actually might be the Panthers' strong attacking side this season, which is funny and goes against like what usually happens in rugby league. But yeah, I think Liam Martin for me will get his props this year and get a Daly Ebb Team of the Year. And the other guy, the second Bulldog player I've got in here, and I don't even think they might make the finals, but Viliami Kikau, his impact, I reckon, the Dogs will be huge. This just adds another attacking strike weapon to their like lineup they got. But I think, yeah, for me, Viliami Kikau will be definitely up there with one of the best second rowers in the comp. My honourable mentions, I've got like Isaiah Papali'i, of course. I just don't know whether he's going to have that same impact over at the Tigers. I've also got Kaloa Matangi. I think he's like so close to just having a breakout season, and hopefully for him, fingers crossed, this is that year. And then David Fafita. If like he's playing with an experienced half, he's going to know how to get the best out of him again. And I think that this year will be the year that Fafita, like, it's a contract year as well for him, so he's going to have to play really, really well. But yeah, I think he will get back to his best this season. Now, finally, over to lock. I've got Cameron Murray. I just think I don't know, the way I'm sort of thinking about this is that the media might, I don't know, Penrith probably will drop off a little bit, and the media might create some new agendas and stuff where they might get sick of the whole Penrith rhetoric. But yeah, for me, Cameron Murray is such a good player. Makes 1,000 tackles a game. He's always there supporting his teammates. Like, really good captain. Yeah, for me, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets lock team the lock spot in team of the year. But the honourable mentions, of course, Isaiah Yeo. I think him and Murray, you can just interchange them. They're both probably at the same level and just both ridiculous footballers. And the other guy I've got, Paddy Carrigan up at the Broncos. I think absolutely no reason why he can't do this. He's probably been like, he was their best forward last season and looks like he's just going to keep improving. Absolute gun. And now, while I'm here, I might just talk about the coach of the year. Just off the top of my head, I haven't really thought about this, but I think the guys you're looking at, the main competitors, like Craig Fitzgibbon, Todd Payton, Wayne Bennett, I think, is up there. Craig Bellamy too. Ivan Cleary, of course. Trent Robinson. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with Wayne Bennett. I think the Dolphins are going to go a lot better than expected, and just the job he's done for like developing a club from the ground up, from the beginning, is just like ridiculous. So I think I've got Wayne Bennett as my coach of the year, which means that my team of the year from top to bottom is James Tedesco, Alex Johnston, Joseph Manu, Campbell Graham, Brian Toto, Matt Burton, Nathan Cleary, James Fisher-Harris, Reece Robson, Christian Welch, Liam Martin, Viliami Kikau, Cameron Murray, and they're coached by Wayne Bennett. Let me know who you guys think will be part of the team of the year. Any positions and stuff that you agree with, disagree with, whatnot. But yeah, like let me know in the comments what your team of the year is, and roast me for anything you think I've just said is stupid. But yeah, if you made it this far, make sure you like the video. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. Plenty more footy content coming your way. But thanks for watching, guys.